We're here at the finish line in Aspen, Colorado, Stage 3. The riders have 2.7 kilometers to go. Everyone's crowded up here, watching the finish come in. There's 25 riders coming into the finish here, and it looks like it's going to be a really exciting finale. It's been a decent descent off Independence Pass. Surprising that there's such a big group coming into the finish here, but could be interesting. Fingers crossed for a good result.
Oh, who's the Cannondale guy?
Come on, Keel! Woo! Yeah! Go, Keel! Woo! The sport of cycling, as we're trying to relay this week, it's not always black and white, and it's not always strongest man wins, and every rider that starts these races always has a game plan, right? There's a bunch of riders out there. I think we have like 100 people on the start line. Everyone would like to win. Teams are realistic enough to know that they have one rider or two riders in the team who have the best opportunities to win. And when there's a game plan in place and a team can execute a game plan, just like UHC did today with Keel Reinen, that's really awesome. That's really awesome. So great job by the team. Great to see Keel come across and execute on such a great race plan. So we're here with Marco Canola, one of the teammates of Keel Reinen, who was so very important today in delivering the win for the team. Really showed how important it was for the riders to all work together in order to get the victory for the team. So congratulations, Marco. Great effort today. How did you feel out there, and how was the race? How did it feel?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm happy for the result about the team and for also my condition. Here, so it's the first time that I ride in the high altitude, so it's very, very different. And I was in the second bunch on the climb, just some seconds behind the first bunch.
So over the top of the climb, you waited for him to catch up before chasing the peloton, is that right?
Yeah, sure. We were me and Yanni Brajkovic. We worked so hard. I worked the last 2K and he worked. I worked from the last 2K from the to last one, and he worked the last 1K on the climb. I know here is very important. The Colorado. He comes from Colorado, so it's the same thing as if I am in the Italy for ride the Tour of Italy. So I know how it's important for him.
At home, when you're training, do you always train with your Pioneer Power Meter, and do you look at all the numbers? Is that something that you as a rider, do you like to look at these numbers?
I see all. So I see the cadence, I see the speed, I see the watts, I see the elevation. And with the Pioneer you have all.
When you're riding up a climb today, you average, you think, about 360,
Yeah.
370 watts.
Yeah.
And altitude is very difficult, no?
Yeah.
If you're at sea level,
Lost.
do you think you would have seen higher numbers?
In altitude, I think you can lost maybe 15%, more or less. So in normal condition, I can do 400 watts.
Do you mind if we have a look at your power file? Can we look at your power file?
Yeah, for sure. I can downloading it.
Okay, that would be great. I got to say, congratulations today, your work and your sacrifices. I think it was a very amazing thing to watch. So congratulations. It looks like it was a great win for the team.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, and thank you for all.
So thanks to Marco for letting us review his Pioneer Power file here. First thing I notice, we're looking at the first 10 minutes up the first climb of the day. So they started climbing from the first kilometre. During this time, he had to do 10 minutes up to the peak of that first descent of Fremont Pass. 10 minutes at 327 watts. It's a decent warm-up at these altitudes. Very early on in the stage. So now we're going to shoot down and look at the last 20 minutes of Independence Pass. So here we see Marco's last 20 minutes up Independence Pass. As we were talking about before, it's quite a brutal climb. They finish at 12,065 feet at the top of this pass. At the top of that climb, they're expected to lose about 15% of their capacities. Immediately after that, I'm just going to highlight that here, we can see where Marco is just taking the descent quite easily and waiting for Keel to catch up and tag on to the back of his wheel in order for them to be able to descend down together At that point, another teammate of Kiel's, Jani Brakovic, was also waiting. During the pursuit of the front group, we can see a section where the descent off Independence Pass levelled out a fair bit. Marco went to the front at this stage, and just in this one section alone, 30 to 40 seconds, he was averaging up around 480 watts. Finally, we're going to shoot down to his lead out. You can see coming into the finale, Marco would have had Kiel right on his wheel. He would have been moving him into great position. And we can see that down here. There's a lot of sharp surges as he's making sure that Kiel is well and truly out of the wind. From the final corner, Marco starts his lead out. And we're just going to highlight that here. And we can see that he did 20 seconds from that final corner at 685 watts, setting up Kiel for the victory. Now we're going to shoot over and have a look at some of Kiel's data from the day. So I'm over in the Pioneer Cyclosphere site now, looking at Kiel's analysis. Please ignore the Ben Day 78 up here. This is in fact Kiel's file from today's stage into Aspen. I've selected a period of 50 minutes where Kiel was climbing up Independence Pass. And it's interesting to see here how his pedaling was going. So Kiel is an excellent pedaler. He's very smooth on the bike, and some of these numbers that he does are quite incredible. But what we can see is that as he's fatiguing up the climb, his pedaling efficiency is actually decreasing. So he's around 47% here. Now I've highlighted the final 15 seconds of Kiel's sprint today when he came across the line first. And now looking at the pedaling efficiency, you can see that it's up at 63%. So at this point, he's really mustering all the courage that he has in order to execute, getting the power into the pedals in the best possible way. So here we've jumped back over to Training Peaks WKO to look at Kiel's final sprint in closer detail. As we can see here, he's accelerated very hard out of the last corner, which I believe was 200 metres to go. He's searched for a wheel that was just in front of him. He's taken a little breather. It's only 1 second right there, and then he's kicked again. So essentially, he's performed 2 sprints here. Over the 19 seconds, he averaged 913 watts, and it was actually a seated sprint since it was so fast. His top speed was 44 miles per hour. So pretty exciting day here in Aspen, Colorado, with Kiel Reinen taking the win for the United Healthcare Pro Cycling team. Great victory, great teamwork, and it was great to see some insight into what made that happen for the team. Pretty awesome stuff. Tomorrow the riders face another difficult stage, lots of high altitude climbing. Tomorrow will be Aspen to Breckenridge. They will go back over Independence Pass, which was the final climb that they had today before they descended into Aspen. They'll do that first climb and then on to Hoosiers Pass, which is towards the end of the stage. And the final climb, which interestingly could be the most decisive climb of this year's USA Pro Challenge, is a climb which is in the neighbourhood of Breckenridge and is called Moonstone Road. It's very short, it's only a Category 3 climb, but it's a very steep little kick at the end of the stage, and it could be very decisive for the overall contenders of this year's race. Hope you enjoyed today. Look forward to speaking to you guys tomorrow. Thanks.